that in every part of the earth, man is facing the wrath of his own gods. And in all the ways that man was told there should be none other gods, it was to remind man that every way that he would follow the ways of false gods, he would become like his gods are. All over the world, man is witnessing the way in which he has followed his own gods and is manifesting the ways of his gods from himself. Because man did not know the nature of all things. Man had no way of knowing how it is, that he was always going to be under the dominion of that which he worships, and that in following that which he worships, he would reflect that which is of himself. And so, wherever man sees the diabolical ways of man in the world today, he knows not that what he is witnessing is the way in which he is reflecting the way that he is under the dominion of his many false gods. Man did not wait for God to teach man how God created this world, how God designed it, and how it was given to work in the divine order that was given into all things. And because man did not wait, man could not have known what he would find. And when you cannot see the things that are hidden from you, you are always at the mercy of what you know not will come to you. And so a man wandered in this world, never wise about the things that were hidden, never knowing that in every way he came and he left, he never really understood how this world was created, how he was created, nor how all things that are created work in the divine order that was given into all things. When God created everything, God placed a purpose in all things. And all things that had the purpose of God within it worked according to that purpose. It is that specific purpose given to all things that made all things work in the divine order of God. And man did not know that he too came in a purpose to serve in the divine order of God in the world, and that in every way that his purpose would have been fulfilled, he would have been given to understand why he came and why he worked in that purpose. But man had to maintain the divinity of his creators within him. And when man lost the divinity of the creator gods, man lost the way to know the things that are hidden from men. And so no man knew the truth, for no man can know the truth without the divine within himself. And so man went everywhere, seeking to find what is the truth. And man couldn't find it, because man was lost in the darkness of a world he could not have known. In bringing things to a close, so have we given that you teach and preach the things that are given to be known to our children, that the children of God may come to the true consciousness of God within themselves, and that hidden knowledge that is within them, that also carry the wisdom that is called the soul. Man has no soul, because the soul carries the divinity of the wisdom of the Mother and Father God in the eternal light of the Father and the Mother God. And everywhere man came and didn't last, he was given to see that he had no soul, for the soul carries the eternity of light within it. And so wherever man went, he was always in the dark of the things that were told, because many did not understand that every way that the laws of God became distorted by man, those things that were given to be known by man also became distorted. And so man did not understand that whatever he would write it was never going to be the way in which he would have understood the truth. And so the truth was never known to man, could not be known to man, and will only be known to man in the end. For these things we have said over and over again, in the end will the truth be known. Man worked in deception, and in every way he distorted what was given to him. He brought deception into everything that he wrote. And so we say to you that in all the ways that the children did not know how they were deceived, it is because they lost the true knowledge of that which was given to them. And so they followed the wayward ways of deceivers. And everywhere they followed the wayward ways of deceivers, they found themselves calling on false gods as well. And from them reflected the ways of false gods too. And so when they could not have known that the God that created heaven and earth and all that therein is not the God that they worship, they didn't know that they were always also under the tutelage of false demon gods on earth. We kept showing them that everywhere they became sects in this world, they followed the different gods. For everywhere that they call themselves by the very names that they call themselves, they know not that it is the way that they were clinging to these false gods. And all these false gods that the children clung to were all the ways that God showed them they could not deliver them. They could not save them. They could not grant them redemption, nor could they lift them up into the higher consciousness of the higher ways of a higher God. So we say to you, teach and preach and teach and preach and teach and preach. For every way that this world is turning around and turning upside down, it is the way that God shows man that God is not mocked, cannot be mocked, will never ever be mocked. And all those that went saying that we are gods, we are rulers, says to them, we are gods that rule, and there is no God that can rule but us. And the children followed them too. And God turned away from the children because the children became disobedient to the ways of your father and your mother God. God says always unto you, our son, respect no man, for that which comes from you comes from us to you, from you to them. And whoever has ears to hear, let them hear. For God says unto them, surely the time will come when you will know that it is too late to cry out to God, because your ears are hardened in the things that you were given to hear, and you did not listen to the things that God had sent, that you may know the way to turn away from these ways and to follow the ways of light unto God. In all things, God is, was, and always will be all that there is. For the children did not remember that all that they are is all that God is in them, and that what came forth from them came forth from the divine Father and Mother God, so that in all the ways they too walked as gods, they walked as children of God, because they carried all that which is of us in them. And these things they did not remember. But when they could not remember these things, it is because they went the wayward way, and the wayward way took them the perishing way. God opens up all the doors of light and love and prosperity unto you and to the lands of the children of God, that in all the ways that the redemption of God goes forth and it goes to them in their lands, it will to show them that God has the power to uplift them, to change the things that had been given unto them, to redeem them in the things that they had lost, and to show them the way to their own salvation. These things we give to you, that you may let the children know time has come, for God has returned, and God has returned to take this world from sinful man, to cleanse it of all the evil, and to restore it back to the way in which it was in the beginning. Let the peace of God go in all things that are said, in all the ways that you speak, teach, and preach, so that in the awakening of the children of God, they will come to the true consciousness of themselves and the way in which they were gods.